Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. I hope you're all having a great day. Hopefully, it's been a good week. It's one day before Friday. The weekend is almost here. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Share this channel out with anybody you know. I would greatly appreciate it. All support is greatly appreciated, and I do thank you for it. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let's say what's up real quick. So who do we have in the chat this morning? Ken, good morning to you. What is going on? Hopefully you're having a good morning. How are you, Ken? What's going on? Stephen B, what's up? What's up? How's it going? What is going on, Stephen B? Who else we got in the building? We got Dev Finch in the building. What's up, Dev? How you doing? Jared Williams, what's going on? How you doing? Nosebleed section. What's up, Nosebleed section? Good morning to you. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this channel out with anybody you know. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you're watching this from Twitter or X, come over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and join in on the conversation. Who else we got here? We got Ronald in the building. What's up, Ronald? How we doing? Gregory Wayne, what's going on? Yeah, we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about the Yankees being embarrassed. We're gonna talk about the Yankees being in a big slump right now. Yeah, it hasn't been a good month as of late. And we know that the last 2 weeks have been terrible for the Yankees. T85, what's going on? What's going on? So the last 2 weeks have not been been good for the Yankees, right? They've been playing some bad baseball. Right now, they're currently on a 3-game losing streak, and they just lost their 4th consecutive series. Okay, so it doesn't get any easier. Now, today, they're going to play the Toronto Blue Jays in a 4-game series starting today, and they're going to play them in Toronto. So hopefully they can win 3 out of 4, but I'm not sure. They have to try and finish the month out on a strong note. It would be great because right now, in the month of June, this team is 12-11. Right? They just wrapped up the series against the Mets, and that was an absolute debacle. The lineup is an issue. The only guys that are currently hitting at the moment is, Anthony Volpe, Aaron Judge, Juan Soto. It can't be those 3. There's problems with the lineup. A lot of guys are not hitting. All right, some of these guys are not hitting, and I know some people were dropping in the comments about Trevino and Wells, and we have gone on that debate so many times. But let's face it. People who criticize Wells, you got to criticize Trevino and vice versa. But as of late, let's be honest, Austin Wells has not been getting a lot of playing time. All right, I think it's time for him to get some playing time. Yeah, he may not be great defensively, but Trevino has not been he's not been playing well defensively either, let's be honest. So, and the bats, with both of them, again, not great. Trevino, his bat has kind of fallen down, right? I'm not going to just pick on Trevino, but there's also Alex Verdugo, who has not been hitting well either. All right? The bats are a problem. Again, this last series against the Mets, both games, the first inning, bases loaded. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They create no opportunities. And when that happens, that worries me. And I know it's the month of June. All right. I know it's the month of June. And we got hey, Erica, what's up, Erica? How you doing? Yeah, Verdugo got 2 hits in garbage time. Maybe it'll wake him up a little. Hopefully, because he had that one game in Boston, and then after that, it just kind of it went downhill. So I don't know. Hopefully it wakes him up a little bit, like you said. But like I was saying, both games against the Mets, first inning, bases loaded, and had zero answer. They had nothing to show for it. It was a missed opportunity, And when that happens, again, that worries me big time. And absolutely frustrating to watch when that happens, because when you don't capitalize, I just feel like, I don't want to say that the game is over, but you don't have a good feeling about the game, again, especially with the bases loaded in the first inning, both games, and then you don't score any runs. That's embarrassing. All right. I thought maybe, with Garrett Cole, Luis Hill pitching, they would at least win one of those games, but they didn't. The Mets hit well against those guys. Luis Hill unfortunately had another bad outing. So hey, my guy D-Rod, what's up, D-Rod? He broke the lock. D-Rod's here. What's Erica saying here? When the bottom of the lineup is struggling like this, you need to keep consistent lineup at the bottom. And to me, that's giving Cabrera, Rice, Wells. I agree. And there's always a hot debate in here, Erica, between Austin Wells and Jose Trevino. So tell me what you think. But I do think that Wells needs consistent at bats. But that bottom of the lineup, yeah, it's a problem. But Cabrera needs to be playing. I'd put Cabrera over Torres, or put him over DJ LeMahieu as of right now. That's what I would do. But the lineup's been the bottom of the lineup has been an issue. I mean, again, the only guys that have been hitting has been Soto, Volpe, Judge. Those are the only guys that are performing in that lineup, and it can't be only those three. All right, CT Cards, what's up, CT Cards? How you doing? Hill started well, but I think the lack of offense got to him and tried to be too perfect. Yeah. I mean, his pitches have not been great. It's been terrible. And Hill looks tired, and the Mets offense is just a juggernaut right now. Yeah, I'm afraid so. Yeah, he does look a little worn out. I mean, you saw him in that Orioles game. I mean, he looked a little worn out. I mean, they hit him. The Mets, they took advantage of him. So nothing was clicking in that Mets series whatsoever. They almost made that comeback on Monday, or on Tuesday, when Judge hit that grand slam. But I mean, it wasn't enough. I'm glad they benched Gleyber Torres, as much as it pains me to say that, but he needed to be benched. And I hope he doesn't play in this series against Toronto, honestly. You got to give other guys an opportunity. I know some of the guys that are playing right now they're not exactly the greatest of names, but who do you got? I mean, some of these guys that are hurt right now, they're on their IL, right? John Birdie, he's hurt. It's too bad, because he was a good asset for the Yankees. He was a good piece for the Yankees to have. That was a good trade that they made, but he's hurt right now, so he's not going to be coming back for a little while. I don't know how long, but it's gonna be a minute, right? And as far as the pitching side goes, you have Nick Birdie, who's hurt. Ian Hamilton is hurt. Cody Poteet is hurt. Clark Schmidt is hurt. So the injury bug has caught the Yankees. It's caught up with them, unfortunately. And it's not just the Yankees. I mean, the injury bug has hit a lot of teams, but right now it's the Yankees are feeling the pinch. So I know a lot of folks want some moves to happen, but in all honesty, I think the Yankees are going to wait till the trade deadline. They're going to roll with what they have right now and hope that this team could carry them until then. But, we'll see. But if what's being said is true, based on what Ken Rosenthal and Buster Olney are saying, the Yankees, or they think that Brian Cashman is going to be really aggressive at the trade deadline, I hope they're right. I hope that's true. I really do. So we've got a few other people that came up in the chat here. Cold Italian Pizza. How you doing? What's up, man? Yeah, no, you're good, man. There's a lot of frustrated fans, so a lot of people drop comments on his channel. So yeah, nah, you're good, Cold Italian Pizza. In a few games, but the bullpen keeps allowing runs after the. Yeah, and that's the problem with like you said, the bullpen. They keep allowing runs. Well, the bullpen is kind of in in a disarray as well. I know they picked up a few arms as recently, but the problem is, those arms, they needed some arms because again, the bullpen you got a couple of guys that are hurt. Hopefully these guys are coming back sooner rather than later. I know Scott Efros is making his rehab starts, so he's got a little bit of weight. He's got some time to continue playing. Hopefully he comes back and comes back strong. We get some reinforcements back. They picked up some guys recently, but that's they had no choice. They had to get a few arms. They had to get some fresh arms because the bullpen, they're a little worn out right now. Mark my words, with Boone, Torres will be on the lineup for Game 1 against the Blue Jays. I hope you're wrong too, man. I mean, I don't want you to be wrong, but in this case, I don't want Torres in the lineup. He's a liability, and same with DJ. Unfortunately, same with Trevino. Trevino has not been hitting well either. Yeah, hopefully, Erica. Hopefully they can flip the script against Toronto and win 3 out of 4. Well, the July schedule, they still have a little bit of I don't want to say hard schedule, but it's still they're still playing some good teams. August is where it gets a little easier, and hopefully by August this team is healthy and they have everybody's back, everybody's playing. If in August this team is still in a slump, then I'm going to be worried. I'm going to be very worried. Yeah, 52-30. Listen, it's great. They're on a 2-8 stretch. Another 2-8 stretch. Yeah, it won't be a good thing. So, right now the 52-30 is a great record, but they can't continue to have these slumps. They have to make something happen. They got to make something happen. What's up, Hobby? How you doing? Well, I mean, Keith Hernandez is going to say that because he's a Mets guy. So liability, whatever. We all knew that that Juan Soto's defensive game is nothing elite. That's not why the Yankees traded for him. They traded for him for his bat. So I don't want to hear what Keith Hernandez has to say. Christopher Cancel, Mets fan here. How are you doing? Hey, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm sure you're in a good mood because the Mets beat up on the Yankees. I'm sure. I'm not, it is what it is. It's in the past now. I can't, you can't change the results. You like Waldo at third, and if Booney is so up with DJ, play him at second base. I mean, yeah, put him at second. Ben Rice absolutely needs to play. You got to play him every day when it comes to Ben Rice. So, hey, what's up from Puerto Rico? Norman Soto, what's up? PR in the building. Yeah, no, you're good, Erica. You're good. August, the schedule gets a little bit easier for sure. No, you're all good, Erica. You're all good. Unlikely the Yanks tonight. Usually they won't do well at first game after travel. I mean, if they lose tonight, you hope they win the next 3. They got to. I mean, under normal circumstances, I would say split the series on the road, but I think 3 out of 4 is what's necessary here for them to bounce out of this, but to bounce back and hopefully light a fire under them. So, whatever you want to discuss, man. What were your thoughts on the series? What were your thoughts on the games, man? Let me know. On this channel, we talk a lot of Yankees. We'll talk other things, baseball. I always say every fan is welcome. I don't care what team you support. We always talk a lot of Yankees, but if there's other teams that if I get fans that like other teams, come in. Let's talk. I know it's mostly about the Yankees, but every fan is welcome. So we could talk other baseball teams. So let me know your thoughts there, Christopher. If the Yankees get swept by the Blue Jays, I mean, it's going to be bad. It'll be disappointing. It's going to tell me that this team is definitely not where they need to be. They're in a bad slump. So, so Christopher, what I do on Thursdays, just so you know, I do an open panel. So I will drop the link in about 15 to 30 minutes. Okay. 15 to 30 minutes. I'll drop the open panel. And just so you guys know, I'm going to do something a little different with the open panel. I know usually I'll bring people up all at the same time, but I'm going to invite people up one at a time. I think for me it's better that way. That way everybody could give their take and nobody's talking over each other because I want everybody to get a fair shot. But I'm going to invite you all up one at a time. You give your take and then I'll drop you down and bring the next person up. So cool, bro. Yeah, it'd be great to have you on because like I said, Mets fan, Yankees fan, whatever. Like, come on up. Yeah, but yeah, if the Yankees, if the Yankees don't have a successful series against the Blue Jays, I'd still be worried, or not still be worried, but I'll be concerned for sure. Again, it's the month of June. I'm not, complete. I'm not saying the Yankees are out of it and they're not going to make it to the playoffs or they're not going to make it to the World Series. There's still a lot of baseball to be played. Um, the team is experiencing some problems, and people want to, either they want to blame Boone, they want to blame the coaching staff, they want to blame the players. I mean, who gets to blame here? You're probably not the only one there, Gregory. There's a lot of folks that want Aaron Boone gone. I don't. As far as Osmus goes, I don't know about Osmus. I don't know how people feel about Brad Osmus, but Aaron Boone, Aaron Boone. A lot of fans want him gone. Now I'll tell you something. I mean, this is a do or die year for Aaron Boone, right? I mean, he has an option for 2025, but depending on how things turn out, I could see him being gone after this season. It's possible. And who would the manager be at that point? Who would take over? Who knows? Who knows? The Yankees offense is struggling in Toronto. Do we leave with a new member? If you're referring to Vladimir Guerrero Jr., I mean, I don't see it happening, honestly. I mean, Vlad has come out and said that he never wants to play for the Yankees. I mean, just because of what happened with the Yankees and his father. Although I know something came out recently saying that he, if it's a good fit, if it makes sense, then he'll play. I mean, maybe he's changed his tune. Who knows? But while we're talking about it, would you guys want Vladimir Guerrero Jr. on the Yankees? Would you want the Yankees to trade for him? Yeah, we're all good with Boone just a few weeks ago. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I'll say this out loud in case there's anybody who's not subscribed and is watching this from the outside. I don't think Boone is a great manager. He's a good manager, but he has his flaws. He has his imperfections. But I give credit where credit is due. Yeah, and just a few weeks ago, like you said, Erica, they were treating him. Everybody was a lot of fans were talking great about him. Now it's like, okay, he needs to be gone. So, and the clubhouse they do love him. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not saying I want him gone, and it's like I keep saying, we could have our opinions about Aaron Boone. We could hate him, we could love him, we could dislike him, we could be harsh critics of him. But the way I see it, at the end of the day, if guys like Aaron Boone, Garrett Cole, Marcus Stroman, Alex Verdugo, are praising him and are talking very highly of him, I hate this. I'm sorry to say this, but our opinions don't matter at that point. We're allowed to have them. We're allowed to have them. Absolutely, we can have our opinions about guys like Aaron Boone. But at the end of the day, when you have big name players that are praising him and backing him up, their opinions are going to be stronger than ours, and they're going to matter more than ours. So this was what the Vlad question. So I was, but as a panic move. I understand. Jared is saying hell no. Yanks can get Vlad for nothing. Just leave a box of donuts by the Yanks clubhouse. Oh boy. And as far as Aaron Boone, it is easy to be an armchair manager or GM. Boone plays the hand that he has. There are no defect-free managers or teams. This is true. And, to Aaron Boone's credit, right? I mean, when he came to the Yankees in 2018, he didn't have a great team around him. Not really. He worked with what he had, and he did the best to his abilities. He did that in all of his years as a manager for the Yankees. I mean, this season, on paper, this was the best team that he had around him. This was the best team that he was given. The previous years, yeah, he didn't have a great team, but he still managed to somehow get this team into the playoffs. No, it didn't lead to any World Series. No, I know the playoffs are not enough. It's either World Series or bust. I understand that. But he did what he can do. And when players get hurt, that's not his fault. I mean, if players get hurt, they get hurt. If players are not performing well, I mean, there needs to be some accountability on the players. But there are some things that Boone could have done better, right? I mean, there was some criticism about the lineup on Tuesday. I mean, I definitely didn't agree with the lineup on Tuesday or even yesterday too. I didn't agree with how that lineup was constructed. Didn't agree with it. I know that wasn't just a Boone decision. I know that was Boone and Osmus and the front office guys, right? So the lineup was atrocious in both games, although yesterday's lineup was a little bit better. Change anything with the Yankees' woes or injuries, and right. Exactly, Erica. See, this is why I like Erica, yo. She's always coming out with the facts. She knows what's up. What would it take to get Vlad Guerrero, man? I mean, the Blue Jays would probably, they'll probably ask for some prospects for sure. I mean, they might ask for some big name prospects. I could see that. I knew it was. I caught on. I thought it was. That's why I chuckled. I knew what joke you were making. No manager's gonna be able to navigate the bullpen. Yeah. The injuries. It is what it is. Nothing you could do about the injuries. Yeah, I agree with. I know there's criticism towards Austin Wells, but he hasn't been getting a lot of playing time as of late, and he needs to. I mean, people say Wells is, some folks are saying that Wells' defense and his is not great, but Trevino has not been great either, and he hasn't been great at the plate. So, and it looks like a few people don't want Vladdy. Yeah, I mean, and that's not saying much, right? As far as the catching situation goes. I mean, if I'll say it like this, and I don't care what anybody tells me, if Trevino was as great as he was, I mean, that series against Boston, I hate to go back to it. I mean, they ran on him 9 times in that one game. It was bad. Well, I mean, when a team is losing, though, yeah, some players react differently. They're gonna frown. Some are laughing and joking. Sometimes the laughing and joking, man, it does help players just with their frustration to kind of take their mind off the current slump that they're in. And if they're frowning, I mean, yeah, of course they're gonna frown. That's your team is losing. You're good, bro. They do. Yeah, exactly. I mean, they gotta. Yeah, exactly, Erica. I mean, just you're pointing out what I'm saying. Like, you can't. You can't look miserable the whole time. I mean, you got to laugh it up and cheer each other up at some point, right? I mean, yeah. But if guys are sad, they're sad. It is what it is. I mean, no, it's normal for them to be frowning. So the the problem is, you know, they gotta stay as positive as possible, and it's hard to do, especially when you're in a slump. I mean, you saw Gleyber Torres yesterday. I mean, he didn't look very happy, and I mean, I understand from his end, like, yeah, he does. He's not really he's not a happy camper right now. He's not a happy player right now. He got benched. He's been playing bad baseball. I mean, can you blame him? If you were in his situation, you'd probably be the same way. And this is true too. I don't think Hal will play Vlad Jr. Yeah, it's funny that they misinterpreted his smile. It wasn't He didn't smile because he was happy he gave up the home run. He just couldn't believe it. You know. Well, Wells might not have the best arm, but at least he calls a mean game. We need to play fundamental defense and have fun. They look like they're pressing. Yeah, they're trying too hard, I feel like. Yeah, but Ken, teams took advantage of that. Teams are taking advantage. Like it's not just the pitcher; it's also the catcher too, man. I know you're saying that's BS, and we're gonna disagree here, but the Orioles did the same thing. So, you know, but so which kids are you wanting to bring up? Because all right, they brought up Ben Rice, but he was more than ready. He was capable. But who else do you want to bring up? There's not really, if we're talking about second base, let's be honest. Like, is there anybody that you could bring up right now? I mean, people could talk about Peraza, but he hasn't been hitting well. People could talk about Yorbit Vivas. Maybe you could bring him up, but I heard he hasn't been playing well. Caleb Durbin, last I checked, he was hurt. I'm not sure if he's back. You know, yeah, I wouldn't. No way on Spencer Jones. He needs to continue developing. Dominguez is hurt. Unfortunately, he would have been the perfect guy to call up when Giancarlo Stanton got hurt. You know, and Stanton being out is hurting this team right now. So Peraza's not looking good. Pereira's hurt. Yeah, Pereira's out for the season. He's getting Tommy John surgery. Forget it. Vivas, Peraza, but yeah, those two guys. Those two guys, unfortunately, they're not playing well. But I mean, maybe there's still better options than freaking Gleyber Torres. I would love to get TJ Rumfield up there, or up to the majors. He's great at first base. I mean, that's his natural position. He's good at the plate. I mean, Rice is better than Rumfield when it comes with the bat, but Rumfield is a first baseman. He's a better first baseman than Ben Rice. Not to say that Ben Rice is a bad first baseman. He's been playing that position really well. Yeah, he just got promoted, so it's like, I don't want to rush any player. Jones is not going to come up in September. The Martian, maybe, just depending on how he heals up. He strained his oblique, so right. I agree. I agree with this, D-Rod. Exactly. Exactly. The catchers weren't throwing anywhere near the bag, regardless of how bad the pitchers were slow to the plate. And even prior to the Red Sox series, I mean, teams were still running on him. Erica's got a point. She's making solid points there, fellas. She says here, you guys don't want to work through anything. You just want a quick fix. But once But once one of these young kids slump, you start bashing them too. Yeah, it is a lose-lose. They did that with Volpe last season. This team will never win anything again. Well, I'll beg to differ on that. Hopefully, yeah. Let's hope Cashman is going to be aggressive, like he said, and let's hope guys like Buster Olney and Ken Rosenthal are right, because they did say that Cashman's going to be really aggressive, and he needs to be. He needs to be. I'm not saying go wild, but we all know what's needed. They need some bullpen help, particularly with lefty pitching, and then also they need some help with third base. They need somebody for third base. Right. Exactly. So this is just a blame game for losing. It's Boone's fault. No, it's Torres, maybe DJ, or perhaps Trevino. No, got to be Rizzo. How about the team hasn't played well enough? Yeah, but I'm pointing out the players that are not performing. So I'm not just blaming any one person. There's multiple players that are not performing. There's only three players right now that have been performing. So I'm pointing out. I'm not just pointing at one single player. I'm pointing at multiple players that are underperforming and need to do a better job. Exactly. We're on the same wavelength here. We're on the same wavelength here. What's this? Baseball players aren't dead car batteries that you can replace and then you go on your way to a World Series. Yeah, it's not that simple. Honestly, it's really not that simple. You don't just get players and think that it's a quick fix, right? That was kind of what happened last season. It was just like they were getting these like random players, and it was just like plugins, thinking, oh, we'll just put this this was a Band-Aid, we'll fix it. No problem, right? But it doesn't work that way. But hopefully they'll be in a better position this season to make some good moves, and I think they are. Luis Hill as a closer, nah. Personally, I wouldn't put him as a closer. Yankees already have a closer, and I wouldn't put Luis Hill in that role. Personally, I wouldn't. He'd probably be better as a setup guy, maybe, if you were to put him in the bullpen. If he was put in the bullpen, hypothetically speaking, you could put him in the 6th or 7th inning, right? He could give you a couple of innings. Yeah, I did call out Soto earlier. I said that Soto, because Keith Hernandez made that comment about Soto being a liability. I said at the top of at the beginning of the show, or somewhere in the show, I said that his defense is an elite, and that's not the reason why the Yankees traded for him. So yeah, his defense is not great, and lately it hasn't been. So he's been making some errors, but again, we already knew that he wasn't his defensive game wasn't great. We knew that when the Yankees traded for him. The Yankees traded for him for his bat, not his glove. So I pointed that out, Ken. Well, who do you got for second base though? I mean, who would the Yankees trade for at second base? That would be ideal. I would love for Cabrera to work out at second base. Yeah, I mean, what second base options are out there to go after? I mean, I'm curious. I mean, DJ at second base, sure, we could put him at second base. He could play second base, but his bat has been bad. he hasn't been great at the plate. I think people are talking about second base because they want, they need, there is a need, there is a bat that's needed, but who's out there? Who could they trade for? Yeah, Boone, Cashman, and Howell are not the issue. Millionaire players need to perform. The players need to be held accountable. Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not saying that playing the game of baseball is easy. It's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. It's not easy to do, but they got to perform, right? I mean, Cashman did what he needed to do in the offseason. I'm not saying Cashman's the perfect GM. Yeah, he's made moves that he should have never made. He should have made moves that he should have made. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, we could go back, 20 years and talk about what moves he didn't make, but that's kind of a waste of time because nothing's going to change. It's in the past. What's done is done. Boone, like I said, he does the best he can. I don't always agree with his decisions, but I can't completely bash him either. Damian Serrano, what's going on? Mr. Fly Guy himself. What is going on? Damian, let me get your thoughts, man. I mean, I don't know how much of the conversation you caught. But we're talking about this current Yankee slump, moves that need to happen. Our girl Erica's just dropping a lot of knowledge. She's dropping a lot of facts. We got folks dropping some facts in the chat. Erica, D-Rod, Ken, nosebleed section. If we don't make any moves, at least we'll be a wild card team. I mean, hey, look, if they go in as a wild card team, they go in as a wild card team. The way I see it is, okay, if they go in as a wild card team, then guess what? They could still win a World Series. They could. It's possible. And I'm only saying that because you look at 2023, there was 2 wild card teams that went to the World Series, and one of those 2 wild card teams ended up winning the World Series. So there's that. But yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat though. I'm loving the conversation. I'm loving the comments. Let's keep dropping those comments. Keep bringing your opinions. Let's I love these types of conversations. So, folks, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this channel out with anybody you know. I would greatly appreciate it. Your guys' support is awesome. So thank you. Since Texas turned IKF from a catcher to a Gold Glove at third, how about moving Rice to third with his range and strong arm? Rumfield at first, Cabrera at second. All right, that's a different perspective. I could appreciate it. If you're going to move Rice anywhere, I would move him to catcher. Personally, and Rumfield at first, I have no problems with that. I mean, because clearly he's a first baseman. Personally, I would move Rice to catcher. I would move him to catcher. That's me. Cabrera at second, I'm not opposed to that either. I mean, Rice, you could move to third, but I think they need to figure that third base out. I think they need to go a different direction in that aspect. Cashman has to get on his game. Unfortunately, our reinforcements are all hurt. Facts, Soto and Judge can't do it alone. Absolutely. We really missed a chance to build on this lead. Yeah, if you're talking about the lead in the division, absolutely. I'm surprised that this team is still in first place, but the Yankees were lucky that the Orioles were on a losing streak. They won yesterday. So I think the Yankees right now are a game ahead in the division. So, yeah, they're one. Yeah, the Orioles are one game behind in the division. So the Yankees need to start winning some games. All right. I don't think there will ever be a big gap between the Yankees and the Orioles. And if the Orioles are in first place, they're not gonna They're not going to have like a large lead. Whoever wins the division, I think it's going to be they're going to win by having a 2 or 3 game lead in the division. It's not going to be this large lead. They're not going to whoever's in first place, it's not like they're going to be ahead by like 6, 7 games. It's going to be like 2 or 3 games, honestly. Yankees have to play their youth first now. The energy is completely different when they are all in the lineup. Facts, man. Yeah. I mean, they're not going to be able to bring up all the youth, but there's certain guys that need to be called up, I think. Yeah. And he did say that, and that's the thing. This is why, some of these trades and these players that fans want. I mean, there is that 110% tax penalty. So something to keep in mind. Something to keep in mind, folks. Jacob Petruzzi. What's up, Jacob? How's it going, man? What's up, Jacob? How you doing this morning there? My guy, Jacob. The Red Sox are slowly creeping up. I mean, the Red Sox are one of those teams. I mean, you don't ever count them out. You don't. You don't. And I know a lot of people don't like Alex Cora, but he's a good manager. Does a good job with the team. You got to give credit where credit is due. The team that you have is the team you have. The deadline will yield 2 or more maybe margin players at low cost. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it'll be interesting to see who the Yankees target and who they end up trading at the deadline. All I got to say is they have to make something happen at the deadline. All right. I'm not saying go after the biggest names, but they can't treat it like last year's deadline where they didn't get anybody. They only got Keenan Middleton, who was actually pretty good for the Yankees, but apparently also the Brian Cashman had 3 moves ready at last year's deadline, but apparently Hal Steinbrenner vetoed him. He vetoed the trades, so there's also that. But I think in this trade deadline though, it's gonna be a different story, and as we get closer towards the trade deadline, I was talking with Jason from 161. We're probably thinking about getting a group of us on a show all together and just talk about the trade deadline and potential players that the Yankees could go after or where players could end up going. What we were talking about that. We were thinking about doing something like that. I don't know when, but we'll just keep on the lookout. We'll let you know. Tell you what, fans are crazy. I'll welcome Vladdy with open arms, and if we could trade Gallo, we could trade Glaber. Yeah, but the thing is, man, with Glaber Torres though, listen, if the Yankees ended up trading him, I'm still in the belief that he's not going to get traded. If they did, I'm not going to complain. But, I mean, what can you get back for him, I guess is the question. I know Joey Gallo, I mean, Cashman was able to pull off that deal with the Dodgers, and they got Clayton Beeter back, which I thought was a great deal for the Yankees. I don't know if they'd be able to do the same with Glaber. But, if they traded Glaber, what could you get back for him? He doesn't have a lot of value. Let's be honest. So I would welcome that. Like I said, I would totally welcome that. You're going to have to open up your arms really wide to welcome Vlad. Another joke by D-Rod. The players on the team can they could, yeah. I mean, I don't know what I know this week it's been that's the flavor of the month now is Vladimir Guerrero. You know, a month ago it was Mason Miller. You know, Mason Miller was the big name. Now it's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I'm not sure what the appeal is. Again, I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's a good player, but yeah, what could he contribute? I'm just curious. Doesn't matter what we get back. What he's doing for us now, Vivas and AAA can't be worse than what Gleyber has given us. I mean, you're not going to hear an argument from me on that one. I mean, Vivas, I know I've heard he's not performing well, but how much worse can he be than Gleyber? I guess, yeah. Or he could be worse, but at this point, I mean, you might as well give Vivas a chance. But maybe you do need to, maybe you do need to give him a chance, though. I think it needs to happen. So, but folks, I'm going to drop the link to the open panel. Okay, like I said, I'm going to bring you all up one at a time. Right, that way you can all give your takes, and then I'm going to drop you down. I'm going to bring the next person up. So, would be third best on the team. He's almost hitting 340 RBIs. Yeah, I'm not opposed to Peraza either. And we got Anna Marie in the building. What's up, Anna Marie? Good morning to you. How are you? I hope you're having a good day. Yeah, Christopher. Whenever you're ready to come up, no rush there. But like I said, I'm going to drop the link to the open panel, and you all could come up, one at a time. Right, I'm going to bring you all up one at a time. Give your take, and then I'm not going to have you on for like a minute or two, but give your takes, and then I'll have to drop you down so the next person can come up. So whoever wants to come up. So there's the link right there. Your bird Robin chirps. So the bird is full of energy. What to think? Rice at catcher, Cabrera second base, Peraza third base, and TJ. I mean, it's better than Gleyber at second base. It's better than DJ at third base. So, and I'd be okay with bringing up Peraza and DFAing Jones. All right. So I see Javi and Jared backstage. So Jared, I don't see you on camera. Oh, there he is. He's there now. So Jared, I'll bring you up first. Okay. Give your take, and then I'll bring up Javi next, and then I'll bring up whoever else comes up backstage. I'll bring you all up in the order you all came in. So, you ready to go? All right. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up?
What's going on?
Not much. Just frustrated with the Yankees.
I understand.
I don't know what's going on with them, man. It's like the top of the lineup does well, but the bottom of the lineup is just.
Yeah, so Yankees are in a current slump. There was a lot of things that we were talking about in the chat as far as what changes need to be made or what players need to be playing. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts is that they need to at least they need to figure something out, man. Like, put the ball in play. Don't hit into a lot of double plays.
The double plays have been a problem.
Yeah,
I think they have like 80 for the season, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was like 82 this season, which leads the league.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have 12, and 12 of those double plays were hit with the bases loaded, which is also the most. And the second is the Phillies with 8 hit into double plays with the bases loaded.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, crazy stuff, man.
Yeah.
I just hope they figure
So
this out.
yeah. So let me ask you this before I drop you down because I got a couple of people waiting.
Okay.
What do the Yankees need to do moving forward to get out of the slump? Like what do you think needs to happen?
I think they need to fix up their bullpen because
Mm-hmm.
they need bullpen help. It's
Mm-hmm.
burnt out. They're struggling, and trade Gleyber Torres too. He can go.
Got it.
I had enough with him.
Copy. I
So
understand. Oh,
so yeah.
trust me, a lot of us fans are fed up with him, but yeah, good takes, man. I do appreciate you coming on. Thanks for being a supporter. I know you're always in the chat, so
Yep.
yeah, we'll do this again, man. So we'll see you soon. All right.
All right. I'll see you.
All right. Thanks, bud.
You're welcome.
Yep. So I'm gonna bring you up, but I got to bring up Ken because what happened, man? You were supposed to jump on this morning with me. What happened?
Yo, bro, I've been sitting in the backstage a half hour before the broadcast started.
Yeah, I was gonna come up and bring you up, but you're gonna stay up with me, so
All right.
you're good. What's up, Javi?
What's up, NFT?
What's up, bud? How you doing, man?
Not much. I'm just gonna quickly give my take because there's a couple people waiting backstage.
Mm-hmm.
So the top of the lineup's been great, but the bottom of the lineup, yikes. Not great at all. So I suggest Trey Torres. I may not want Vladdy, but I sure as hell want to get rid of Gleyber Torres. I had enough of him.
Yeah.
I had enough of him. I also think he needs to be benched at least until the All-Star break. That's what I'm thinking. That's what a lot of fans are thinking here. Is to bench Gleyber Torres until at least the All-Star break.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think, Ken?
Well, it's probably time for a change of scenery for Torres. I mean, the fan hate for this guy is in his head ingrained completely.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see him recovering from the tailspin. He's probably better off getting a fresh start somewhere else. What place that may be, I don't know.
Yeah, Glaber, you know, I said this on Jason's chat yesterday when he went live. He absolutely they should have traded Glaber Torres. You know, they almost had a trade for him for Pablo Lopez with the Marlins a couple of seasons ago, but then they also asked for Oswald Peraza, and the Yankees then pulled away. You know, they pulled out at the last minute. You know, I do think that they, you know, if you look at it now, that maybe they should have done that trade because it's not like Peraza is playing in the majors right now.
Well, the reason that the Yankees pulled out on the Peraza deal because he was going to be Glaber's replacement. So you're not going to send him and the replacement off to a different franchise because there would be nobody to play second base at that time.
At that time, yeah, but and I get that. I get that part, but now it's like it's funny that we're here 2 years later, and Gleyber Torres.
There's that link for the open panel, and
That's
if they
right.
will allow you one at a time, just like my guy Hector. Special shout out to him.
That's right, bud. That's right. But yeah, But it's funny that we're in this situation now, though, and they don't. Gleyber Torres, obviously, he hasn't been performing. He's not going to be a Yankee one way or another. Whether he plays the season out, he gets traded. I mean, he's not going to be back with this team next season. I think we can all agree on that. So,
well, he's put himself in jeopardy of ending up signing a 1-year deal next year because his play has been so erratic. The Yankees can't take a chance on making him a qualifying offer because he'd most likely accept the damn thing.
Yeah.
So it's sad that a great player like that has come down to this. I mean, if you look at his performance over the last 3 seasons, he was a stabilizing factor in the lineup. Hell, 2 years ago, he hit 24 home runs for us and had the highest batting average when
Mhm.
Judge was down.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I
I don't know.
can't seem to get anything done on the offense or defensive side of the ball.
Particularly with second base, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And let me ask you this question, Javi. What do you think the Yankees should do with second base?
Second base?
Yeah.
I'd rather put Cabrera in there. He's a decent player that could play second. Hell, why not put LeMahieu in second, even though he's underperforming as well? Put LeMahieu at second. Put Cabrera at second. That'll save the Yankees some time defensively.
Well, I don't agree with you there, Javi.
There you go.
There you go.
DJ is no longer an everyday player. I think he was brought back too early from rehab, and that's why you're seeing the swings. He has no hard hit rate whatsoever. Every time he's swinging at fastballs, he's behind the punch. He's getting a steady diet of fastballs and can't seem to connect with any of them. Cabrera is a serviceable second baseman, but I don't think that you're going to buy a lot with this defense. If you want a defensive second baseman, they need to bring Peraza up.
I will disagree with that because Peraza, he's not doing well right now. But you would bring him up to get some help at second. So I see where you're going.
Well, Peraza is the best defensive glove we have in the organization. He's rated over Volpe. So if you want to solidify second base defense, Peraza is probably the way you're going to go. Just realize that you're not going to get a lot of hitting out of him. However, with all these damn ground ball pitchers we have out of the bullpen, you need stable up the middle defense.
Big time.
Big time. I also agree that the bullpen needs to be fixed. And for the love of God, stop with the double plays with the bases loaded. We lead the league in double plays with the bases loaded with 12, with the Phillies right behind it with 8.
Yeah, I think Yankees have 80 double plays. I think that's what I read. And
yeah, but you know who leads the team in double plays?
What?
Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge. Yeah, I was going to say Aaron Judge.
He's hit into 13 double plays. As a matter of fact, the only major leaguer who has more hit into double plays than him is Manny Machado with 14.
True. Yeah.
True.
And Albert is saying, I heard that LeMahieu with his foot issue doesn't have the range for second anymore. Then why is he, if he doesn't have the range, how is he playing third? I'm just wondering. I guess I'm kind of lost here. Maybe somebody can help me out.
Well, I mean, I suppose you have a bigger playing field at second than you do at third.
Yeah, but the range, though, when I think of range, I think of throwing range.
No, I'm thinking he's probably talking about lateral movement left and right.
Oh, okay.
And with a foot that probably isn't fully recovered, he's going to give up something one way or another.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't. I don't think he's played second base this season at all. So since he's been back, and yeah, I think he. I know Jared is asking if he was brought back too soon. I honestly, I'm leaning towards yes.
I believe so too.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards yes.
I think that the Yankees done a couple of panic moves, and bringing DJ back early was one of them. And when Poteet got injured, bringing Cole back from rehab, I think was premature.
Yeah. And I want to send a quick shout out to Grunt Baseball. How are you, man? I know I've been following your channel for a little while there, man. Hopefully you're doing well there, Grunt Baseball. Shout out to Grunt Baseball. Make sure you guys subscribe. He puts a lot of funny. He's a funny dude. Like, he puts out some good videos out there. So shout out to Grunt Baseball. But look, I want to talk about the series coming up against Toronto. How do you guys feel about that? I mean, do you see this? Do you see the Yankees bouncing or getting out of the slump, bouncing back, or are they? Do you think they're going to continue their losing ways? Like, how are we feeling? You want to go first? You want to go first, Hobby? Go ahead.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
So, with the series against the Blue Jays coming up in Toronto, we seriously need to get there. We seriously need to fix our issues, especially with the ground into double plays. What's up, Jared?
What's up?
Anyway, let me continue.
Yeah,
We
continue.
need to stop with the ground into double plays. We need to stop with the 1, 2, 3 innings. I just want this team to sweep the Jays. Either a split would be nice. 3 out of 4, I'd take that. But a sweep is possible. A sweep is possible. Let me say this. If we sweep the Jays, that'll give the Yankees an excellent opportunity to, get farther ahead of the Orioles at first place in the American League East.
Yep. Jared, your thoughts before I get to Ken?
Well, I didn't feel good about this series for some reason.
You don't?
I don't know why though.
Okay.
I think it's because getting swept by the Mets got me. But the Mets are hot.
They've been playing some good baseball. And real quick, shout out to my guy Nitin Ramachandra. What's up, Nitin?
What's up, man?
One of the hardest working guys out there. Always connecting with players, setting up meetups, setting up interviews for us content creators. Nitin and his team are amazing. Shout out to my guy Nathan, man. Him and his team do a great job. And we're always we're always in contact with each other. But shout out to you, Nathan. And Nathan, if there's any events that are coming up, drop it in the chat, man. As always. But go ahead, Jared. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's all good. So I just hope the Yankees win 3 out of 4 because they need to win badly. If it's a split, whatever. 3 out of 4 is good. A sweep, be very awesome. But if we lose hold on.
Go ahead.
If we lose the series, like lose 3 out of 4, then on all 4 of them, that would be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, you never want them to lose 3 out of 4, but
nope.
Yeah,
I agree.
Should be in Kansas City on all 4.
Yeah.
Well, going back to the first Toronto series that we actually lost a series, Kikuchi was a foreshadowing of what's happening now.
Kikuchi.
He is a strong left-handed pitcher, and he shut us out. He owned us.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a steady diet of left-handed pitchers that have just beat the crap out of the lineup. We can't seem to hit anybody who's throwing from the left side of the plate. I think that game is going to be an uphill battle for us. We faced Berrios tonight. He's 6-6, mid-3 ERA, but he's a right-handed pitcher. I think
righty.
if there's a chance to bounce back, he's the guy to bounce back on.
Sorry to interrupt you, Ken, but I wanted to bring this comment up from this end. It says June 30th, Tommy DeVito, July 1st, Luis Hill, July 2nd, Devontae Adams, all at Woodbridge Brewing Company down in New Jersey.
Hmm.
Cool. Sorry, Ken, go ahead. Don't interrupt me. You're good, bud.
Chris Bassett also handed us our butts in Toronto. We'll be facing him. He's slacked off a little bit, so we have a chance to probably pick it up from him. And their ace, Kendall Graveman, is the last one we'll be facing, and he's matching up against Garrett. And I'm not sure about that game whatsoever.
Yeah. And they got Kikuchi, who's pitching as well in that series, if I'm not mistaken. And he whooped the Yankees twice so far. So, yeah, and again, another left-hander who the Yankees haven't been, they haven't been hitting lefty pitchers. But Jared and Javi, I know, Jared, you came back up, but I got to drop the both of you guys down. I got another guy waiting.
Of course.
Yeah, but any last words again? Because I got my guy Chris Cancel in the back who's waiting, who is a Mets fan. So, everybody, please welcome him.
Betcha Chris is having a lot of fun after
I'm sure he is.
His Mets kicked our butts last night.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, all good. Like I said, all fans are welcome here. But any last words from you guys?
Please win, Yankees. Please freaking win. Go back to the win column. Like, especially the bottom of the lineup. Step it up now.
Yeah.
Please. That's all I gotta say.
My last words. Please win, Yankees. Get back in the win column. And not to mention, please go up ahead at first place at the Orioles. Please. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Awesome, guys. Y'all heard it here. So, Yankees, go out, win, do something, make something happen. But appreciate you boys jumping on. I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
See you later. All right. All right. I got my guy Chris Cancel in the back. You ready to come up, man? Thumbs up. Cool. I got you. What's up, man? How you doing? First time seeing you here. I appreciate you coming on and subscribing. So, yeah, what's up? I know you're a Mets fan. You talked about it. How are you feeling, though, man? Let's talk a little Mets. Go ahead, bro.
I'm thrilled. I'm excited, but I'm also surprised. I did not expect us to sweep you guys, and especially last night. I did not expect a score like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the one that did scare me was Judge. I have to admit, I did not expect him to hit a home run or a grand slam at our turf. Normally, I thought he would struggle against lefties. But thank you for having me, and I'm ready for any questions. I'm ready for any questions you have. Shoot.
All right. So, since before I ask my question, Ken, do you have any questions for Chris when it comes to the Mets? Okay.
You guys are on an uptick. Have been playing very good ball since the massive clubhouse meeting and the removal of certain players from the team. I hate playing the Mets, especially with former Yankees. Harrison Bader kicked our ass again. Ottavino has given us problems no matter where we've shifted at from him. You guys are scrapping your way back into the playoff race or into the wild card race. Do you think that you will be moving Chris Alonso or Pete Alonso before the deadline?
I hope not. Right now, I'm just letting the season go by because we're still in the first half before the All-Star break. As for your other statement, I believe that maybe Ottavino. It's actually, Ken, there's one person we did forget, and that's Mendoza. He was with you guys after all. He's a pretty good manager. I'm surprised you guys got rid of him instead of having him promoted to manager. You guys would have been on a whole new level with him. Playoffs wise, I'm not thinking about that. I'm just letting the season flow just to see how things turned out. I let the results speak for itself at the end.
Well, in the National League, there seems to be a lot of parity. If you're looking at the teams that are competing, there are like 9 teams within 2 games of a wild card slot. So the only teams that are really not in it in the National League are the Marlins.
It's an uphill battle right now. We're only a game behind San Diego for the 3rd wildcard spot. But as I said before, I'm just letting the season go by and see what happens because you never know. It's baseball. Things can go either way regardless.
You guys have one of the richest franchise owners in baseball. What acquisitions do you think that the Mets need to make to put them in a better position for the postseason?
My guess is pitching because we need a little help on the bullpen. And I think one more bat will be nice because we have good weapons, but I think one more weapon will do good as well. So pretty much that's what I see, a bat and maybe one more for the bullpen. Other than that, we should be all right. As long as we maintain the same route that we're going for, we should be fine. So
I got a question for Chris. Oh, go ahead, Ken. You got another question?
What do you think of the Edwin Diaz situation?
Oh my God. I've never been a fan of umpires. He should have appealed because I think it's legal to have a little bit of Rawson or whatever that thing is called. You know, it's ridiculous. I'm sure you guys agree with me on that. First off, it's a stupid rule. I don't know why every pizza does it. Didn't you guys have someone who used the same thing and then they let him continue? I don't know who it was, to be honest. But
Domingo Germán.
Domingo Germán,
bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo. And then for us, nah, I was pissed off when I heard about that.
Yeah, no doubt. I guess here's my question to you because I know there's been a lot of Mets fans talking, Mets radio hosts talking. You think just to stir the pot up a little bit, you think they sign Soto during free agency?
That would be nice. That would be great. But at the end of the day, he gets to decide where he wants to be. He could be in the Bronx or he could be in Queens. It's up to him. You know?
Fair enough.
I like that. You know, I would be great, but again, it's up to him.
Yeah.
Don't forget. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's true what Ken said that we have one of the richest owners, but so do you guys. So it could be an uphill battle. So we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. I know Ken asked if Ken, you asked him about Pete Alonso, right? If he would get traded, right?
Yeah.
You think the Mets bring him back?
I hope so because he's part of the core that we have. And let's say we get Soto, we have offensive firepower on our lineup. So, but we'll see what happens. Again, it's at the end. It's not during the deadline. I say we'll see what happens at the off season because right now we're on a winning streak at the moment, and right now our next opponent is your worst enemy, which is Houston. So we'll see what happens from there. There's not really much I can't say because we are still fighting for that spot. And at the end, well, we'll see where it goes. That's all I pretty much can say about that.
Yeah. Well, the National League is interesting because it's like an open battle, literally. I mean, I think we know who the division winners are going to be, but as far as wild card teams, it's going to be really interesting because I feel like it's going to be it's going to be super tight. So it's like really anybody could make it. So the Mets could easily sneak in. As long as they don't have like a collapse or anything like that towards the end of the season. It'll be interesting to see what happens in that division because the NL East, it's either the Phillies are probably going to take that division more than likely, unless if the Braves
It's a dogfight between Philly and Atlanta, to be honest.
You think Atlanta could finish at the top of the division by the end of the year?
Possibly, but we don't know. It's an uphill battle. Like you said, every team goes through slumps. So who knows if Philly goes into a slump and Atlanta just sneaks in. They did it against us 2 years ago. We had the same record at the end, but they won more games than us, and that's how they ended up taking the division. So
no doubt.
It was 101 and 63, I think, and that's it was crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, as of right now, the Mets they're in an interesting situation. So, again, if they play their cards right, they could make it as a wild card team. I don't see them winning first place, and that's not a knock on the Mets or anything. But
I'm going to be honest. I don't really care if we take the division or not. Wild card, it doesn't matter. It's just about going to the playoffs and see where it goes from there. Like I said, just let the season play out and one game at a time. That's it. That's how I see it for us. So I don't really think about that.
I mean, yeah. If you look at last year, all you need is a ticket to the dance. Nobody would have suspected that the Arizona Diamondbacks would have been playing for the World Series last year. I think the odds were like negative 1,600. And they had 3 series that they played great. They just couldn't hang on to take the big one.
True.
Yeah, because I don't know who your World Series predictions were last year, Chris, but my prediction was like the Orioles and the Braves, which clearly was not the case. I mean, it was 2 wild card teams, and I said that at the earlier in the show. So if the Yankees made it into the playoffs as a wild card team, hey, you never know what's going to happen in the postseason. Anything is possible. So, you had a team like the Texas Rangers that made it in as a wild card team, and they ended up winning the World Series. So,
yeah,
I'll be back in a sec. I've got to address something.
You're good, man. You're good. But anything else you want to add before I drop you down? I just got one more person waiting. But yeah, dude, you bring some solid takes. So I mean, you're always welcome to come on to the open panel, bro.
Well, one, I feel great for the sweep, and number 2, good luck against Toronto. I mean, is it a 3-game or a 4-game set?
It's a 4-game set, man. They're playing in Toronto, so it's like.
And what's your record against them throughout the season so far?
Throughout the season, so let's see. I know we won 2 out of 3 against them at Yankee Stadium, the first meeting. Let me look at the calendar real quick, man. So, okay, so yeah, they took 2 out of 3 in the first time they met up. Then they lost 2 out of 3 in Toronto. So let's see, 1, 2. So they're 2-2.
2-2.
Yeah. So and they haven't played each other since. So they lost 3 and won 3.
So it's 3-3.
Yeah. So 3-3.
Okay, then I think for this one it could be a must win. So if you guys do a split, you guys will be ahead of them in the series. If you guys lose 3 out of 4, you guys are in trouble. So I say maybe, you guys got to bring it up. I mean, I was concerned about Cole. I thought Cole was hurt. And last but not least, Luis Hitler, a guy with a 9-winning record. I'm surprised we stomped him too. But before I go, because I also have some stuff I need to do, thank you for having me. Good luck against Toronto, and we'll see what happens. I look forward to facing you guys again at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, I always look forward to the Subway Series, man. It's always a good time. I mean, after all, it's just we're all fans of the team, and it at the end of the day, it's just a game, So, but yeah, y'all got the Astros coming up.
Yes,
so
we do.
hopefully y'all do well against the Astros.
And you guys in
I know they've been playing. They're a sneaky team, the Astros. So watch out for them. They swept the Orioles, so something to keep in mind. But hopefully, for your guys' sake, they beat the Astros. And the Yankees. You mentioned real quick. You mentioned splitting. Under normal circumstances, I would say split, but I need to say 3 out of 4 just because they need to get back into that winning column and try to create somewhat of a distance between them and the Orioles. It's never gonna be a big distance between the two teams, but they need to have a little bit of somewhat of a gap. So
My final statement before I go.
yeah,
Whether you guys take the division or not, is the only thing that's important is just making the playoffs. That's it. Division is just there, but making the playoffs and aiming for what you're aiming for, that's the goal. So, but we'll see what happens. So thank you for having me, and I look forward to talking to you next time.
Yeah, next time, man. Appreciate you coming on, Chris. Appreciate your takes, man, and you're always welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Good
man.
night. Good day. Bye.
Have a good day.
You too.
All right. Yep. Thank you. And we got Stephen B waiting in the back. You ready? All right. My guy, Stephen B, who's out there fixing things and breaking things. And
I didn't break anything yet.
Is it at least cooler for you?
Yeah. Since I shaved my head and shaved my beard.
yeah, I kind of noticed the head. I'm like, this guy shaved.
Yep.
I was like,
Sunday.
all right. He decided, you know what? The hell with it. It's getting all shaved off. I don't care anymore.
Pretty close to it.
All right. Cool, man. But I don't know how much of the conversation you caught, but I want to get your thoughts on the slump that the Yankees are experiencing. Are you panicking? Are you concerned? And then I want to get your thoughts on the Toronto series before Ken and I close it out.
For the slump, I'd rather have the slump now than say August, September, right when it matters. I'd rather have, and we have guys coming back, so there's more time for them to come back and actually reshape it. There's also the trade deadline's hasn't passed, and we're not on waivers trying to pick up anyone that could possibly be an upgrade over our roster. So I'm not really panicking. Yes, the lineup's slumping, but it happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt. And what are your thoughts on the series against Toronto?
I say we got to at least split it. I like to see 3 out of 4, but I'll take a split at this point just to get them going playing more 500 baseball and then try getting the next series to win.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think a lot of fans are panicking because of the fact that, this team started out hot. Now they're in a slump. So now they're getting PTSD from like 2022, 2023. So I don't know. I still think this is a different team compared to those other couple of years. But what do you think, Stephen B? And then I want to get Ken's thoughts on it as well.
This team is totally different from the last year. It's totally different. They actually want to win. You see them having fun. The last year's team, they were just to themselves. The chemistry was just dead. We had Donaldson cancer in the locker room. We have Soto. Everyone's joking around with them. We have a lot of players that are actually getting along and playing well for the most part. I mean, besides Torres, but that's a whole different animal. But I feel this team is going to get good. It's too good to be this bad, and we can't win every series. It's not practical. So baseball is a humbling sport. So we're on a huge peak. Now we're coming back down to reality, and then we'll pick it up again.
Yeah, hopefully, man. Hopefully, we're hoping for some good things coming up. So hopefully it's not the same thing when they're in August, where they're in the same type of slump. If it's August, and I might be in a little bit of a panic mode, but that's just me. But Ken,
I mean, slumps happen. If you look at the Orioles have lost 5 out of the last 6. They got swept in a series. The Dodgers have been up and down. The Phillies have taken it in the shorts, especially when they played against the Orioles. So we're not going to go 162-0. We're bound to lose games.
Yeah.
And it happens. The things that in my opinion need to be fixed are mainly bullpen issues, because we have 6 or 7 pitchers that are straight ground ball pitchers. That's all they do is throw to contact. We need to improve the strikeout rate. So I think we need to get some bullpen acquisitions. We're not going to be able to spend a lot. A lot of the assets that we were thinking about moving are all on the injured list, so we're not going to be able to move them.
Yeah.
In-house, with regard to infield stuff, Birdie will plug a big hole one way or another.
John Birdie?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah,
He
he
is
will.
he is capable of being that everyday second baseman. You're going to get a contact bat with him. You're going to get a guy who has steal potential. He led the National League in steals 2 years ago. Just an all-around good ball player. Third base, if you're really truly wanting to improve third base defense, you have an in-house solution. You're not going to get a lot of hitting out of him. Bring Peraza up. He's metrically the best defender on the infield that the Yankees have in the organization, all levels. Now, my personal favorite is the catching position.
Let's talk about it. Go ahead, man.
Well, sucks. He is a horrible catcher. He's not a good defender. I don't see him as being a long-term solution. He certainly is not an everyday starting catcher. Backup, perhaps. Excuse me for a sec.
You're
Look on
good.
top of the clock.
And
Clock
then,
or the bar, one of the two. My
yeah,
grandkids are.
you're good.
My grandkids are wanting to watch TV in the front room, and my son can't find the remote. It's like, Jesus Christ, it's a fucking remote.
I was gonna ask you this because I know since we're talking about the catching situation real quick, and we'll wrap it up here in the next few. But I saw your comment about bringing up Carlos Narvaez.
Well, Trevino, he is not a good catcher either. His bat is slumping. His defense, he's been exposed for his pop time and his arm. He's not truly the starting catcher that you need to compete with. You have a qualified catcher on the roster right now in Ben Rice. His defensive metrics are solid. In my opinion, the Yankees aren't being fair to him. They brought him up to be given a shot to audition for the first base position, to be an everyday player. A left-handed pitcher comes in, he's not on the field. Hell, he's not even DH until last night. So he's not getting that just opportunity. You can tell from his approach to hitting, the kid has a solid bat. He attacks the ball. He doesn't look outmatched against any pitcher that he's faced. And he's faced some good ones. Why not put him behind the dish? And with regard to Narvaez, he's not hitting great down there, but his defense is spectacular. He's probably one of the better defensive catchers we have. He's already on the 40-man roster. So it's a question of moving somebody. We don't have to DFA anybody to get him up to the major league. So the Yankees have a plethora of catchers in the farm system. That's one of our real true depth positions.
Yeah.
Why not use it now? Give these guys at least an audition, because these other clowns aren't doing anything. They're not hitting. They're damn sure not throwing runners out.
So you would say Ben Rice, Carlos Narvaez, and then first base, who would you put there?
I would put TJ Rumsfeld there in a heartbeat, and that would require him being added to the 40-man. I hate to say it, but Jumai Jones's last day as a Yankee would probably be with him being added to the 40-man.
Well, I think Jumai Jones being DFA'd or let go, I don't think any of our feelings would be hurt as far as fans' reaction. Stephen B is in agreement here. I know you don't like him, so.
Well, I just as a depth piece on the bench, I just don't see the purpose he plays.
Right.
I mean, they've slotted him in the outfield, and every time he's in the outfield, I have flashes of last year's outfield, the freaking ridiculous crap that went on out there. Every time the ball was hit in the air, it was, oh shit, are they going to catch it? What error is fixing to happen? Who's getting overthrown? I mean, the outfield is terrible. And when I see Jones out there, I have flashbacks to that. I don't know what his actual base infield position is, but he looks shaky every time I see him fielding a ball in the infield. He's certainly not a stick. He can run.
He could run, yeah.
But I'm not going to hold a roster spot for a guy to pinch run.
Yeah, no, there's other guys that can fulfill that role too. So, but I'm gonna wrap it up here. So let's just get your guys' final thoughts, and then I'll drop you down, Stephen B. And then I am gonna go live for the pregame, by the way. So tune in for that. But yeah, your guys' final thoughts, and then we'll close it out.
I would say just let's be positive. Let's just be positive, and hopefully we get a win tonight. That's pretty much what we need.
Cool. Ken?
The team is the team. We're going to win. We're going to lose. Nobody on that roster wakes up and says, well, today is a good day to make myself look like a jackass and screw up. They're out there trying. Pitchers are out there trying to groove. I think today is going to be a bounce back day for Rodon. Historically, he's pitched pretty good against the Blue Jays. So hopefully he holds his own.
Mm-hmm.
The bats decide that they're going to come alive, especially since they're not facing a lefty, and good things will happen.
Facts. Yeah. Well, I'll just close it out with this. They need to bounce back. They need to find a way to bounce back. Yeah, during a slump. Every team goes through a slump. Every team experiences injuries, especially this season. My goodness, every team has got a lot. There's a lot of injuries this season. But let's just hope that things get better from here. Hopefully they have a bounce back series in this series. Definitely don't want the Orioles to overtake first place, but at the same time, it's always a possibility because the Orioles are a good team, and yeah, they've been in a slump as of late too. And they got I don't know who they're playing next, but it'll be interesting to see how they perform this weekend. But yeah, the only thing I could really say is let's hope the Yankees can break out of it and bounce back, and hopefully this next few weeks go by so we can get some of our reinforcements coming back. And once the trade deadline comes around, the Yankees get the necessary pieces that they need to get, and I'll just leave it with that. So that's all I got.
Don't forget to hit those likes and subscribe.
Listen to my guy Ken, or else I will send them to your house. Just kidding.
Ooh, that's a scary thought now, isn't it?
I wouldn't mess with you. But yeah, Stephen B, thanks for coming on. I'm gonna drop you down, but it's always a pleasure having you on, man. You're awesome. You're one of my best supporters out there. So keep up.
No problem, Edison.
Yeah, don't work too hard, man. Don't work too hard.
Anytime you want me on, just send me a link.
You know it, dude. So, but you have a good day, man. Don't work too hard. Stay cool out there. Stay hydrated. So,
always am.
All right, cool, man. Have a good one.
You too.
Yep.
By the way, Texas is the Orioles' next series.
Interesting. Okay, so Texas they could be one of those tricky teams.
Exactly.
Yep. But folks in the chat, I do appreciate you all coming on. Thank you to everybody who came on the open panel. It was nice to have Chris Cancel. That was his username, who came up and was a Mets fan. He gave us some of his Mets takes, which I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on, man. I'd love to have you on again. Ken, as always, love having you on. But yeah, dude. So
appreciate you having me on.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I told you I would have you on, so I kept my word. But But I appreciate everybody coming on. Make sure you all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this channel out with anybody you know. I would greatly appreciate it. I'll see you all later for the pregame, and we'll talk Yankees Blue Jays. You all enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you all soon. Have a good one.